Did President Trump just put a leash on AI companies, or did he just ask them nicely to wear a leash before letting them burst out into the world? Hear me out so you can decide. President Trump just signed an executive order in private this afternoon called Promoting Advanced Artificial Intelligence Innovation and Security. Now, it's unusual that Trump would sign an order like this in private. He usually makes signing executive orders a really big public show, but not this one. And that's because there's a backstory here that you need to understand. This executive order has been postponed at least twice that we know of. In fact, just recently, there was supposed to be this big signing ceremony for this order with a bunch of AI executives scheduled to join the president at the White House. But at the very last minute, on the day of the event, Trump canceled the whole ceremony and canceled the order, saying he didn't like what it said. More on that in a second. But then fast forward to today and we get this new order. The long and the short of it is this order asks AI companies to voluntarily let the U.S. government test their newest AI models before they're released to the public so that the U.S. government can make sure that the new AI model doesn't threaten our country's cybersecurity or national security. If the AI company decides to voluntarily turn over their new model, the U.S. government would have 30 days to review it and would give the developers feedback about potential vulnerabilities the government finds and concerns. But the key word here is voluntary. It's all voluntary. The AI companies do not have to turn over their new AI models for testing if they don't want to. There are no penalties for not turning them over. And frankly, with how quickly companies are pumping out these new AI models, it's unclear if they would even want to turn it over to the U.S. government for review, because that would delay their rollout to the public by at least a month. So why is this so interesting? Well, there is a very interesting political angle here, and there's also a very interesting practical angle here. The practical angle is that these AI models are getting so sophisticated that, if not already, very soon, they will be able to infiltrate our U.S. banking system, military system, financial system, health systems, and critical infrastructure systems. The AI companies may have good intentions when they roll out these new sophisticated models, but we know not everyone has good intentions. There are plenty of bad actors out there who would happily harness this very powerful AI tool to do real damage to the United States infrastructure that we all rely on. And the fact is, our laws are not advanced enough to keep up with this fast-moving technology. So many believe something needs to be done to at least put some guardrails on this beast. It's worth noting separately, this executive order also directs several U.S. government agencies to strengthen the U.S. cybersecurity systems so they can identify vulnerabilities that can be exploited by AI hackers. And that leads me to the interesting political angle of this story, which is the fact that President Trump promised to remove all the guardrails and barriers to AI development when he first came into office. He sees AI development as a direct competition with China over who will be the global leader in AI. And Trump wants to win that global race. But the executive order is really the first time Trump is even dipping his toe into just the idea of maybe creating some kind of AI guardrail. Reportedly, Trump scrapped the previous versions of this order because they weren't voluntary. The prior versions reportedly said that AI companies shall be required to turn over their new AI models for review by the U.S. government for up to 60 or 90 days before they could be released to the public, so the government could clear them for any of those cybersecurity or national security concerns. But clearly, Trump thought that was too heavy-handed, given his very hands-off approach to AI. So he went with today's watered-down version instead. And now that you know that, it makes sense why he signed this executive order in private. There's no video of it. There's no pictures of it. So it's up to you to decide whether this goes far enough or if it goes too far and the U.S. government should have no say in what happens with these AI models. If you want